Let's take a look at the AFC North standings. Even though it was their first win of the season, the Steelers still, as Schrager said, one game out of first place. So in this incredibly close division, Schrags, who's standing out?
I'm curious what to see with the Ravens this week, because the first 2 weeks we did a parade for the Baltimore Ravens offense, how good Lamar was, and they suffocated the Dolphins and the Cardinals. Well, you look at the Dolphins and the Cardinals right now, and any team can suffocate the Dolphins and the Cardinals. In the last 2 weeks, the Ravens, they got run all over. I mean, the Chiefs absolutely put a whooping on them. And then, obviously, this past game, Nick Chubb is still running up and down M&T Bank Stadium. So I look at the Ravens' defense, because that's what's in their pride. And, you lose an Eric Weddle. You lose a C.J. Mosley. You lose a Darius Smith. Yep. You lose a Terrell Suggs. And the first 2 weeks, we're like, all right, it's okay, it's fine. Look at those numbers. This isn't the same unit. I think Wink Martindale is waking up this morning looking at that Steelers gimmick offense last night, and it's like, okay, we've got to prepare for a lot of things. But the Ravens, as much as we love Lamar, if the defense doesn't wake up and get back to what they used to be, I've got some serious concerns that they're going to be playing some relevant football in a couple months.
Ooh.
Yeah, and they did lose a lot of guys. And I saw Earl Thomas had to have a conversation with John Harbaugh about why he pulled up on that Nick Chubb run. So he needs to be better. But I'm going to go to the team who's on the other side of the game. I'll go to Cleveland. Baltimore showed up early to the party, started doing shots, got a little ahead of themselves. Cleveland arrived slow. There's a sense with the Browns that I like. They're untapped still. Like, they're still warming up. I always point to this. In the middle of the season, they're going to get Kareem Hunt. And at some point, they're going to get Odell Beckham Jr. He's out there. He's not doing a ton. And if Freddie Kitchens is worth the Spurs and as an offensive coach, he'll get Odell involved. Fascinating schedule coming up the next 3 weeks for the Browns. Niners, Seahawks, Patriots. It's not pretty. If they can get through and win 2, maybe even 1 of those, it's real soft in the back end. I still think their best football is ahead of them. Whereas the Ravens, I don't know. It felt like they peaked in about week 2. Like, you better get back on that horse. The Browns are coming.
Yeah, Schrags, you mentioned that the first part of the season we were throwing a parade for the Baltimore Ravens. Rightfully so. They looked good those first couple weeks. Well, there were parts of the first quarter of the season where we were basically planning a funeral for the Cleveland Browns. And while we were sitting there trying to put dirt on their casket, Baker Mayfield was sitting up like the Undertaker.
Undertaker.gif. I like it.
You know what?
Yep.
I'm good. We're not dead. We're still alive. And I like the fact that he didn't waver, and he came out and talked about it. And this past weekend was a message to everybody. And Kyle, you know what? You are right. Nick Chubb showed us what he can do. Jarvis Landry had an amazing game, which we're not mentioning, but he went off. So if they can keep him at that same level, Odell Beckham steps up. The tight ends start making plays. The defense is already phenomenal. I'm still with the Browns on this. I said in the summer, just like I said over the last few summers, that the Browns will win the AFC North. Maybe this year they'll prove me right. But we'll see, though. It is early. Let's see how they respond to success, because we already saw how they respond to failure this first quarter of the season.
We've got angry runs on the way, more highlights, of course, toe drag swag. The guys are going downstairs to perform some sort of play.
A miracle.
Miraculous play.